What's going on, folks? I got a gripe today. I have some bitching to do. Those who know me, which is few and far between, but those who may know me understand I am not really a big fan of the ultra wealthy. I'm not. I just heard yesterday that Elon Musk is on track to be the world's first trillionaire. Let me say that again. The world's first trillionaire. That is a million millions. Think about how different your life would be with 1 million. You could make your life better. Everybody who knows you, you can make their life better. A million millions. That's what a trillion is. And somebody in this day and age very well may get to that point. So my question becomes, why, as a society, are we allowing this to happen? You may say, well, we can't stop it. We can. But people would have to want to do that. We would have to have a desire to change this. And really, personally, I think that we just have to stop settling for it. We have to stop worshiping these billionaires. I mean, anybody who has $1 billion, do you know how greedy a person has to be to have $1 billion? Do you know how greedy you have to be for $999 million to not be enough? Am I the asshole here because I think that makes you kind of a piece of shit? And now we're talking about the world's first trillionaire. This is a person who could buy entire countries. This is a person who could bribe every person in a government from top to bottom. We think dark money in elections is a problem now. Imagine if Elon Musk had $1 trillion. You know who would win every election? The person who told Elon that they would do whatever the fuck he wants. And chances are he would probably just run for office and he'd win because he's got the money to do it. It just blew my mind when I heard that. He might be the world's first trillionaire. Do you know how much of a piece of shit you have to be a trillionaire? I mean, even just take somebody who's got $10 billion. Chances are that person's a massive piece of shit. Because you get to a point where you have so much money that you couldn't spend it in a dozen lifetimes. So why do you want so much? Because at some point, it's less about what you can buy and less about what you have, and it's more about what others don't have. Personally, I think that people who are billionaires are money hoarders. They're hoarders on a crazy damn scale. I just did a little bit of math about it. And if there was somebody who was a trillionaire, if they lived to be 100 years old, they could spend more than $27 million per day for 100 years and still have money. Who needs $27 million per day? I don't think that the U.S. military spends that much. Who needs that? Nobody needs that much money. So if you get to that point and you're still trying to make more money, there's something fucking wrong with you. For real. If you have more money than you can spend in your lifetime or your kids' lifetimes, your great, 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 great grandkids' lifetime, and you still want more money, what the fuck is wrong with you? Because it comes to a point where you're not making money because you need it. You're making money so other people can't have it. And that's what a billionaire is. It's a person who wants so much money that they want your life to be worse, even though it doesn't make their life better. It's absolutely absurd. I just really struggle with it. I'm somebody who was born broke, spent my whole life broke. I know what it's like to go without. I know what it's like to suffer. And of course, the billionaire stands are going to say, "Well, you're just jealous. You're mad at them because they have what you want." I don't want $1 billion. If I got anywhere close to $1 billion, I'd be giving so much of it away that I never hit $1 billion. I could take 500 million, throw it into the bank, or throw it onto the stock market and live like a king off of the interest that I would never, ever, ever need to get to $1 billion. It's just clout. It's just them wanting people they've never met to idolize them and worship them. And really, of all the people, all the great people on this planet, to have Elon Musk be the first one, I hope it never happens. I hope there's never a trillionaire on this planet until inflation gets to a point where we're talking about 500 years in the future. Then fine, we can have some trillionaires. But today, in this day and age, when people are lucky to make 30 grand a year, you want somebody to have $1 trillion. A million millions. That's fucking nuts. I just can't wrap my head around it. Personally, I don't get it. If you're so rich that you have more money than you could spend in 1,000 years, why do you want more money? And this is something people should ask billionaires. Elon Musk, I think right now has something like $47 billion. He had a hell of a lot more. He lost a bunch. He had something like $400 billion. How? For real. Like, and I'm not saying how based on, oh, what did you do to make your money? My how is, how did you make so much money and care so little about the rest of the world that you continued to make more money? Money is an abstract thing. But there's only so much. Every country has only so much of a GDP. There's only so much value in anything that we are letting these people take it from all of us and hoard it. That's what these people are. Money hoarders. They know they have more than they'll ever need, more than they should need for, another 100 generations. But they want more. That's sociopathic, if you ask me. That's fucked up. Do you think a person with $10 billion is not going to have enough money to live like a king? Everyone in their family to live like a king? Yeah, they do. They most certainly do. So why could you possibly need more? Only so the rest of us can't have it. I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, well, you're just whining. You're just jealous. No, I could never become a billionaire. If I had several $100 million, I'm going to be giving it away too quick. Think about all the people in just America alone that are homeless, who are drowning in medical debt, people who need surgeries, people who need medical equipment, people who need homes. You could take a tiny fraction of that billion and solve the problem. A trillionaire, they could solve that problem 10 times over. They could house every person in the country. They could send every kid to school. They could make sure that nobody on this planet ever goes hungry again and that everybody has clean water. But they don't. And that's my question. Why? Why do we allow this to happen? Why are we so comfortable with the idea that such a small amount of people have so much and we don't expect them to share? It'd be one thing if they were capable of spending it in 2 or 3 lifetimes. Fine, keep it, whatever. You want to make sure that you and your kids and their kids are well off and wealthy. Fine. I get that. I understand that. We're talking such astronomical amounts of money that the interest alone off of this amount of money is more than any family could ever dream of spending. Why? Why is it like this? Why do we idolize these people? I don't get it. I genuinely don't. I don't know why we idolize billionaires. I think we should despise billionaires. Personally, I do. If you've made $1 billion in your fucking life, that's commendable. Genuinely commendable. But if you hold on to that money, fuck you. And maybe you're not on board. Maybe you're not. But let's look at it this way. Let's say every bit of food on the planet, suddenly it comes to a halt. And all we have on Earth is the food that we have right this second. Okay? Lots of people going hungry, people dying of starvation every single day. Yet there's a family that has more food than they could eat in 1,000 lifetimes. Would you tell them, no, you don't have to share. You don't have to give any of that food away. I know most of it, 99% of it, is going to go bad before you have a chance to eat it. But it's your right as an American to hold on to that food while people die around you. That's exactly what it is. Genuinely, that's what it is. People go hungry every day. People die in this country every day. Maybe from a lack of food, maybe from a lack of medical care, maybe from a lack of housing. But any problem that you come up with could be solved by these money hoarders. A good start would just be them paying their fucking fair share of taxes. That would take the burden off of the rest of us. And I could go into, how the government is totally wackadoo when it comes to what they spend our taxes on. Personally, I wouldn't have chosen to spend any money on this Israel bullshit. Keeping in mind that Israel has free college, free health care. They subsidize damn near everything in that country. People in Israel live way better than people in America do. Yet we give them tens of billions of dollars a year to go and bomb people. Why? Instead of feeding people here, they're killing people elsewhere with your money, my money, our money, the little bit of money that we make. Those of us who feel stoked if we make $50,000 in a year. Why do we keep putting up with this? I just don't understand. And maybe it's just me. I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe I'm wrong. I know that, Elon stands will come out of the woodwork and attack me. I guess it's lucky that fewer than a dozen people will probably see this video because I'd be getting a lot of hate. But I think Elon is a massive piece of shit. Genuinely, I think he's just garbage. He's trash. He's a shit human being. And not just, all the shitty things he said and the shitty things he's done, the way he's talked about his daughter. Like, he's just a shit person in general. But add on top of that he's also one of the richest people on the planet who has enough money to buy an entire social media platform and hand it over to Nazis. But no, if you're going hungry, they don't give a fuck. They don't. I think the word billionaire should be synonymous with piece of shit. How do you have so much money that you can buy anything you want, and you still want more money? There's something sociopathic about that. Genuinely. Let's say you had 50 cans of food, and in a week, that food's going to go bad. You have enough to feed yourself and your family, and then there's going to be some left over. But somebody who is on the brink of starvation says, please, please, I need 1 or 2 cans of food to feed my family or they're going to die. That's what a billionaire is. They're the type of people that say no. I would rather sit here and watch this food go bad than to give it to you. That's what a billionaire is. They are just trash people. It's all about clout and status and power for them. And I don't understand why we put up with it anymore. I'm not saying we have to have a revolution where we go and attack people with tons of money. No. But socially speaking, we need to stop worshiping these pieces of shit because they are the closest thing to evil that we're going to see in our lifetime. I genuinely believe that. They have more than they need, and they refuse to share. Why is that okay with everybody? And I've seen other people be interviewed about it. People who are even more broke than me. They say, should we tax rich people at a higher percentage? And they go, no, we shouldn't. And they say, well, why? Why do you think that? And they go, well, what if one day I'm rich? I don't want you to tax the shit out of me. Well, guess what? You're never going to get there. And a big reason is because these other sons of bitches are hoarding it all. There's only so much to go around. So every time you have a person that has more money than they could spend in 1,000 lifetimes, well, guess what? That's 1,000 lifetimes worth of wealth that they're taking from the rest of us. And of all people, really, of all people to become the first trillionaire, it's Elon. My God. I'm not a fan of his, as you can obviously tell. I'm really not. His his whole life has been handed to him. He didn't just pop out of nowhere and invent all this cool shit, and that's why he got rich. No, he was born rich in apartheid South Africa. Matter of fact, let's take a look at something right here. Hold on. I'm going to have to share my screen. But I was looking at something earlier, and I want you all to see it. Okay. So if you look here at the top, did Elon Musk inherit apartheid money from his South African father? The answer is yes. And I've read through all of this. This was, what, 4.5 years ago? 3.5 years ago? Whatever. I've read through it, and this is obviously an ass-kissing article. Dana Sanchez. Well, guess what? You're full of shit. You obviously have a tongue right around that rim for Elon, because I could tell by the way this was written that they didn't give a shit about the facts of it. They cared about how it was portrayed. And I'll show you why. One second. Where's it at? Yeah, right here. Okay. A recurring theme on social media is the claim that Musk's father owned an emerald mine and paid for his son's privileged upbringing and education. Musk has denied that story. Musk has denied it. Errol made money by consulting and developing properties, Forbes reported. Don't trust Forbes. They're full of shit too. But check it out right here. The Emerald Mine story, reported in 2018 in Business Insider, tells how in the mid-1980s, Errol acquired a half share in a Zambian emerald mine, which would help to fund his family's lavish lifestyle of yachts, skiing holidays, and expensive computers. So does that sound like somebody who didn't come from money? Let me ask you this. Why did this white guy get the share? Well, if you know anything about apartheid, it won't be hard to figure it out. But Elon Musk is not a self-made man. He's no more self-made than Donald fucking Trump, who was given $413 million as an inheritance and still claimed bankruptcy 6 fucking times. Now, for those watching this, what would you do with $413 million? You probably wouldn't piss it away like this guy did. You probably wouldn't go bankrupt 6 times, especially if you owned a casino. What kind of loser bankrupts a casino? They show up, they hand you money, and they leave. Who could possibly fuck that up? One guy, Donald fucking Trump. Elon's no better. Everybody thinks he's this Tony Stark genius. No, he was born rich. He bought his way into the best fucking colleges. Oh, he started PayPal. Okay, fine. Give him that one then. He started PayPal. Fine. But did he do it being the son of parents who made $100,000 a year total? No. He did it coming from fucking money, which makes everything so much easier. I started a paper route at 10 years old because my family was broke. I needed to do anything I could do to bring in some more money for my family. So at 10 years old, I went and got a paper route. By 13, I was working at a diner. By 16, I was working fast food. I didn't have time to sit around and fucking think of these platforms. I'm not saying I would have. If I did have the time, I probably would have pissed it away. I'm not going to bullshit you. I probably wouldn't have capitalized on it. But if he was working at McDonald's too, your boy Elon wouldn't have capitalized on it either. He had that freedom. The freedom to be carefree and just know that your life is covered. And since then, what's he done? Okay, you say he started PayPal. All right, fine. Then what did he do? Most people would say he invented Tesla. No, he didn't invent a fucking thing. Don't believe me? Let's look at another thing. As soon as I pull it up here. All right. Oh, wait. That's the same damn one. One second. All right. So this is an interview with the guy who used to own Tesla. And then this douchebag bought his way onto the board and kicked out the guy who actually owned it. Here's the fucking article. You don't believe me? Here's the fucking article. Soon enough, Eberhard was out and Musk was in. It felt like a brick on the side of my head, Eberhard said. It's totally unexpected. So this guy started Tesla. Not this asshole, this guy. So, I mean, if anything, can we stop worshiping this guy? Oh, he started SpaceX. He's going to save the world and send us to Mars. God, if you believe that, oh my goodness, if you believe that, holy shit. You are a level of stupid that no YouTube video could ever save. Elon Musk is going to save the world. Elon Musk is actively fucking the world up every day. On a regular basis, he's fucking shit up. He is making life harder for you and I by hoarding billions of dollars so he can have his little pet projects. Sure, SpaceX is probably a very valuable company, scientifically speaking. Very valuable. But is he here to save the world? Nope. He's here to exploit the world. There's no doubt about it. And people who are Elon Musk stans, man, get the fuck out of your basement, grow a pair, and grow the fuck up. He's a damn clown. Me personally, I used to be allowed on Twitter, but guess what? Your boy Elon bought Twitter. He went through all my past tweets and found all my criticisms of him. And I am permanently banned from Twitter because I dared to criticize him. That's your free speech absolutist. The guy who cries a fucking river if anybody has criticism of him. Fucking pussy. If you ask me, that's a fucking pussy. Elon, you're a fucking pussy. I know he'll never see this. Maybe in 10 years, 15 to 20 people will see this video. Whatever. Fuck it. At least I got it off my chest. But let's just say somehow this video went viral and Elon saw it. Guess what, motherfucker? I want to talk to you. Put us both on stage. I'll make him look like an absolute fool. Because there's no way he could possibly explain the need to have hundreds of billions of dollars without sharing any of it. Nothing. And it's not just him. No, definitely not just him. Got a whole list of these assholes. Warren Buffett, George Soros, the Rothschilds, Bill Gates, of course, Jeff Bezos. And I would say, look at Jeff Bezos' ex-wife. They split and she got half of his money. And she started donating it like the way a billionaire should actually donate shit. She donated more money than anybody, I think, ever had in 1 year, in a 1 year period. She donated hundreds of millions of dollars. Why aren't they all doing it? If this isn't some kind of financial dick measuring contest, I don't know what the fuck else it is. Is it because they just want to say, I'm the richest person on the planet? Fine, go ahead and say that. But the rest of us should say what is true and that you are the most greedy person on the planet. Why do we worship them? Why do we worship these assholes? I don't get it. They've never done anything in their life that's worthwhile other than hoard money. They walk into a boardroom and fire a couple of people over here and, make a couple decisions over here, and they make hundreds of billions of dollars. Like, get the fuck out of here. I bet you Elon Musk couldn't make a sandwich, let alone build a fucking house. And yet we look down on construction workers and idolize these assholes? What the fuck is wrong with us? Why? And I can't be the only person that feels this way. But I don't see anybody else out there talking about it. I'll say it again. You can make $999 million. You could make a few billion. When you start talking 10, 20, 50, $100 billion, fuck you. Why? Why do you need that kind of money? Are you going to buy countries? And I say that tongue in cheek, but it's honestly true. Look at Trump. He cozied up to Elon, or as he calls him, Leon. But yeah, fucking Elon's like, I'll give you $40 million per month. And you're going to tell me that rich people don't just buy and sell this country every fucking year? You're going to tell me rich people don't have an effect on who becomes the leader of this country? Now imagine Elon has $1 trillion. There's not going to be an election on the planet that he hasn't decided. We can't allow anybody to have that much power. Rich people already have too much power. And it's not some, complaint about like we shouldn't have to work. No, like work is good. We should have to work. But these people who don't give us anything of value, to let them just take over the planet because the financial ball is rolling in their direction. And we all just sit back and, oh, I wish I was them. Dude, fuck that. You're never going to be them. And I pray for your sake you're not. Because I'd be saying the same thing about you. I'd be telling you you're a piece of shit. Matter of fact, let's look at some of the numbers. Gonna have to share this one. Bear with me. All right, here we go. Okay. This is a chart that shows what the minimum wage would be if the minimum wage rose at the same percentage or at the same rate as those who are at the top 1%. Look at this number right here. $25.18 per hour. Based upon what the top 1% makes, minimum wage if it grew at the same rate, would be 25.18 per hour. Here we are, 725. Same place it's been since I was a teenager. I'm coming up on 40. We've been in the exact same fucking place since I was a kid. Why? Well, you can ask Ronald Reagan's punk ass and every other fucking Republican president since him. It's just absurd. It's genuinely absurd. Look at that yellow fucking line. Yeah, right there in 1980. Oh, look, halfway through, somewhere around the 1985, 1986 area. Look, boom. Look at that shoot up. That's Ronald Reagan. And it just continued since then. Boom, boom, boom. Going up, 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 up. Why? Because these pieces of shit donate to people who become president. I'm not saying Democrats are innocent. No, they're not. Joe Biden's a fucking corporate Democrat who kisses the fucking ring so he could get the donations. But none of us should put up with that shit. None of us. This right here, this is where we're at. We should be here. We're all the way down here. So when you ask yourself, why do I feel like I'm more broke than my parents? Why were my parents more broke than my grandparents? There you go. It's all right here. It's all right there. This was the minimum wage. And then midway through the 90s, boom, the rich got richer and the poor got poorer. And it has only gotten worse. And that's my whole point. We've been putting up with this for so fucking long. I was born in 1986. I watched my parents struggle. I became an adult. I've struggled. And I'm not going to say that the struggle that I've had in my life is because of Elon Musk. No. Like, what's happened in my life is my fault. But those of us who work for a living should have made more from working less. If we were treated the same as these fucking country club assholes, these fucking yuppies, I mean, we'd be able to have a world where one parent could work and we could still afford 2 cars and a house and to raise 5 kids. That's how it used to be. Back in the 50s and 60s, a janitor could go to work for 8 hours a day and support his wife and 5 kids, have 2 cars and a house off of one income, a relatively low income. They could still have the American dream if they were willing to go out and work for it. And nowadays, you could have 3 jobs and you're still fucked. And that's the why. Because our country has been bought and sold by millionaires and then billionaires. I mean, this happened way fucking back in the early days, in the 1900s, early 1900s. And honestly, I could bitch and moan about this for days. And there will be a lot of people that just want to tell me I'm wrong. Look, you should kiss Elon's ass. He makes jobs. Really? Did he make jobs when he bought Twitter? When he fired all those people? Was he helping the economy when he fired 80% of the Twitter staff? No. Look at the Rockefeller influence on the Federal Reserve. Look into that. Look at JP Morgan's influence on the schooling system. Have you ever wondered why we don't get taught anything about money in the American public school system? That's by design. If you know how to balance your checkbook, your parents probably told you, because the school sure as fuck didn't. I went to school in the 90s and the aughts. They never talked to us about money. Never. They would teach us so much useless shit, but the last thing they're going to tell you is how to not be broke. Why? Well, because as JP Morgan put it, I want workers, not competition. I don't want people coming up with brilliant ideas that might make them somebody who, could make something out of themselves in their lives. No. I want people who don't know what the fuck's going on, who have to rely on credit to get themselves into 30-year loans so that they have no choice but to come and work for dear old daddy JP. That's what's been happening for 100 fucking years. Can we stop putting up with it, please? And this has absolutely nothing to do with jealousy or I'm mad at them because I'm not them. I hate them because I ain't them. No, that's not what this is. I wouldn't change my life for the fucking world. I'd love to make some money later. I'd love to go from this point into some, comfortable lifestyle, but I wouldn't trade it because I wouldn't want to be one of them. I'm glad I grew up broke. This video is just a question to the rest of you. Like, why the fuck do we do this? Why? Why do we put up with it? Why do we sit around and kiss Elon Musk's ass? Tell him he's amazing. We tell Jeff Bezos he's amazing. If you work for Jeff Bezos, I guarantee you don't think he's amazing. The richest person on the planet can't afford for his own workers to take a shit break. Have we ever asked why? No. At least nobody with power has ever asked why. And again, they'll say, he's a job creator. Look at how many jobs he's created. Well, he's doing everything in his power to replace those workers with robots. You got to make a robot one fucking time and you never have to pay them. They don't need to take food breaks. They don't need to take leak breaks. But that's what's wrong with humans. They cost me money. Dude, fuck Jeff Bezos. Fuck Elon Musk. Fuck Warren Buffett. Fuck Bill Gates. Fuck the Rothschilds. Fuck the Rockefellers. And at this point, we're so deeply entrenched in it that we can't even look through our fucking windows outside without seeing something that has been influenced by them. I mean, this is why I think the whole Freemason thing is legit as fuck. They've been controlling this world for at least 100 years. A lot of people would say back into the 1700s. And from what I've seen, it seems absolutely true. Because if we were all born on this planet on a level playing field, why would we just allow this to happen? We wouldn't. It's because of systems of control that are so deeply intertwined in our government that every single one of us is born as a worker. And those of us who aren't, they're in the elite class. They control the rest of us. Why is the minimum wage still $7.25? That's what the minimum wage was when I was a teenager. We're talking like 25 years, man. You can tell me rich people aren't getting richer? Then why are we staring down the barrel of the world's first trillionaire? Inequality has gone through the fucking roof. We've got billionaires all over the world building bunkers. It's not for natural disasters. It might be. I can't say for sure. Maybe it is for natural disasters. But then again, who caused that? Did you? Did you make natural disasters happen? Did I? No. Corporations did. Oil companies did. We could have had electric vehicles 100 years ago. We could have had hydrogen vehicles 100 years ago, but we don't, because we would have to, those in power would have to give up their control. They control us using oil because it's not a renewable resource. It's not something you can make at home. So those who have held that for 100 years aren't letting it go. They would prefer to spend billions of dollars per year convincing you that the problem is plastic straws. Come on. Come on. While they're making record profits, normal Americans have never been so broke, but every corporation is making record profits. During COVID, everybody who is a normal person got more broke. Corporations, record profits. Why? Why are we putting up with it? We're just sitting back and getting fucked every which way. And there are still people out there who are like, oh man, I idolize these people. Well, I get it. I get it that you want to be that. I understand. Because for the average person, regular life might fucking suck. I know I've been there. I'm lucky to not be in that place now. I'm just glad to be who I am. But I spent a lot of time cursing these folks out and hating them. I guess that hasn't changed, to be perfectly honest. I just hate them for different reasons. I hate them because I think they're the tip of the spear of greed. They're the people that don't mind destroying the planet, destroying the middle class, destroying millions, if not billions of lives on this planet for another point. Another point on the stock market, man. So they could get a little tiny bit more rich, even though they have more money than they'll ever be able to spend. Why is that acceptable? And I'm not saying we need to have laws that say you can only ever make this much money. No, we don't need a law. What we need is a change in society where we think of these people as they are, as money hoarders. People who would rather see a larger sum of money on their bank statement than they would like to see people survive. They don't care if you die. They don't care if you starve. They don't care if you have health care. They don't care if you can't afford a home. But if they get 1% richer, fuck, they'll move heaven and earth to make sure that shit happens. They will. Why do we idolize these people? We should despise these people. We should hate them with every cell in our being. And I don't understand why we're not there yet, folks. Let's fucking get there. Elon Musk should not have fans. Jeff Bezos should not have fans. Warren Buffett, Elon, or fucking the other ones, fuck. I don't even know. I'm getting off track now. But anybody who's got tens or hundreds of billions of dollars, stop idolizing them because you're jealous. You don't want to be them. You don't want to be a soulless piece of shit like them. Can't believe I didn't even say Mark Zuckerberg. Fuck that guy too. I probably should step back because I'm pretty sure he owns this damn platform, but fuck. If he wants to silence me too, just continues to prove my point. And I've been blabbering on about this for fucking more than 50 minutes. This is supposed to be like a 5 or 10 minute video. But I have so much to say about these people because I cannot fathom. I cannot fathom how anybody who isn't a sociopath can live with themselves hoarding money like that. And I know I already said it, but think about it again. Say you take the 5 richest people on the planet, and it's not money that they have, it's food. No more food can be grown on the entire planet. But 5 people have enough food to keep 1 billion people fed for 100 years. And they just choose not to. That's what these rich fuckers are. And this isn't something that's coming down the pipeline. This is something that is in the past. If you don't think the elites have us right where they want us, look at Lahaina. Look at what happened in Hawaii a little over a year ago. Suddenly a fire popped up out of nowhere. No water, no communication systems, no warning. Cops were stopping people at intersections saying, no, you can't evacuate. Why? Well, because the elites are building a smart city there. And the only way you can do that, you have to get down into the ground and fuck with the infrastructure. You can't do that if there are 10,000 homes in the way. You got to burn that shit up. So they did. And then they put up walls. No drones can fly over here. Zuckerberg's place didn't get hit. Oprah's place didn't get hit. But then after it happens, who do you see? Oprah, a billionaire. And The Rock, her little fucking lackey, who still has several hundred billion or millions of dollars. And what do? They ask you for money. Like, for real, you fuckers burned it down. And you want us to pay for it? I looked it up. Do you know how much it would have cost to completely rebuild Lahaina? Put all of those homes back, brand new, and give the land back to the people who owned it. You know how much that would have cost? $5 billion. Oprah has that. Elon has that. Jeff Bezos has that. Zuckerberg has that. And it's not like they don't know. They don't give a fuck. And that's the problem. If they don't care about us, why do we care about them? Why do we idolize them? It's just a level of absurdity that I cannot get my head around. These are not heroes. These are the villains of our age. And we need to start treating them that way. So since I didn't say it before, fuck you, Oprah. You might give 30 people cars here and there, but guess what? You could have given the entire island of Lahaina back to the people that owned it, and you chose not to. And believe me, they're building that fucking smart city. And if you think that's a little bit too much in the conspiracy theory side of it, well, guess what? Happened in Chile, happened in Greece. So 3 places where they had planned on building these new smart cities just magically burn to the fucking ground. Come on, guys. Come on. Wake the fuck up. They have us right where they want us. That's why they don't have to give a shit. That's why they don't have to care that we're all seeing exactly what they're doing. They know there's nothing we can do about it. And they're right. There is nothing we can do about it. But at the very least, we could stop worshiping them. Stop worshiping billionaires. Stop worshiping rich people. There's got to be a point where if you have a certain amount of money, anything over that, I mean, I don't know what the number would be. I think it's like around 500 million. You have $500 million. You give a lot of it to charity. You help tons of people out. Cool, fine. When you start talking the billions, nobody needs that much money. At that point, they are only keeping it so the rest of us are less powerful. So the rest of us are more or need them more. You know, like look at Amazon. They treat their workers like shit. You think Jeff Bezos can't afford to give you a fucking 30-second piss break? Of course he can. Of course he can. The richest person on the planet can't afford to let you take a piss. There is something sadistic as fuck about that. And I think these billionaires, especially these ultra wealthy up there billionaires, they're the closest thing we have to supervillains on this planet. Guess what? Iron Man ain't coming to fucking save you because he's a billionaire too. He's in on it too. Nobody's coming to save us. We have to fucking save ourselves. And it's never going to happen if we just sit down and kiss their balls and just talk about how jealous we are. Oh, what would I do if I had that money? Well, guess what? You're never going to have it because they do. I mean, if you take Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk alone, I'm pretty sure there was a point in time where between the two of them, they had something like $800 billion. You could change the whole world with that much money. You could usher in a fucking utopia. If they worked together and did it right, they could. Why don't they? Well, because that would empower you. That would empower you, and by extension, make them lose power. Our complacency is their power. And I don't know. Me personally, I don't want to put up with it anymore. Go ahead and be rich. Go ahead and, if you do well in life and you make hundreds of millions of dollars, more power to you. I got nothing but love for you. But when you start talking billions and tens of billions and hundreds of billions, when is enough enough? At what point do we say enough is enough? Are we really going to allow somebody to become the world's first trillionaire? And we'll just sit back, oh, well, it's because he's so smart. No, it's not. He's not that fucking bright. I'm a nobody, and I would love the opportunity to sit down on stage with Elon Musk and tell him what I think of him and have him refute what I have to say. You think he stutters now? All he'd be like fucking Elmer Fudd if I got him on stage. And I'm a nobody. I'm not educated. I'm not wealthy. I'm just somebody who understands right from wrong. I'm somebody who understands that if you have enough money to feed every hungry child on the planet and you choose not to, you're a piece of shit. What else would you call it? Do you know how many rich Christians we have in this country? Really? You're going to say you follow Christ and you're a billionaire? Please. That's laughable. Get the hell out of here. It's just absurd, folks. It really is. And I'm sad. I'm sad that it's come to this. 30 something years ago when I was a little kid, yeah, there was a disconnect. Yeah, I knew I was poor. I knew there were rich people out there. And as a young person, I was jealous, super jealous. What makes them so special and what's wrong with me? Well, I started paying attention. Come to find out, we've been put in this position. Again, that's not to say that my fuck ups aren't my own. They are. They absolutely are. I've done a lot of stupid shit in my life. But all of us who have struggled would have been able to struggle less if there was a little bit less greed at the top 1%. Just a little bit. And to sound like Bernie over here, the top 1% control more than 80% of the wealth. I think it might be 90 or more. But just to be safe, let's just say 80. So let's say you have 100 people in a room and one person takes 80% of the food. Would you just say, oh, you're entitled to it? Go ahead. I mean, we'll be hungry, but we'll be fine because you're entitled to it. No. Nobody would say that. And with the way this country is structured, with the way, we're not taught about finances, and by the time we figure out what the fuck's going on, it's way too late. We're into a 30-year mortgage. We're deep in debt, and we have to work day in, day out the rest of our lives just to maintain the status quo in our broke-ass life. Enough is enough. So if I'm the first to say it, fine. But if anybody on this planet becomes a trillionaire, we failed. We're fucked. I know Vladimir Putin might already be there. He honestly is the richest person on the planet. But at least the people in Russia know that he's a piece of shit. It's time for the rest of the world to understand that Elon Musk is a piece of shit. Jeff Bezos is a piece of shit. Mark Zuckerberg is a piece of shit. When you or your kids go to bed hungry, it's because of them. You're probably working 2 jobs. You might have to listen to this shit while you're at work. You couldn't sit down and watch a 1-hour fucking video without doing something. Because most of us can't stop. It's a fucking rat race. If we want to survive, we cannot stop. Why is that? Why is it that people back in the 50s had it made? Well, one reason, tax brackets. Back in the 50s, rich people used to be taxed. Then started to dip down in the 70s, and then Reagan put a complete fucking stop to that. I mean, I hope that Ronald Reagan is in the 7th circle of hell right now. He is such an absolute piece of shit. And every Republican since him has done the same fucking thing. And that's not to say Democrats are innocent. No, because they're corporate pieces of shit too. But the Republicans are really the ones who have just been trying to take money from the poor and give it to the rich. The opposite of Robin Hood. That's any fucking Republican. Enough is enough, folks. And honestly, I could continue on this. I could talk about this shit for 8 fucking hours. But I've already gone 55 minutes longer than I thought I would. So I'll end it here. But just keep in mind, man, these people who have our world under their thumb, we gave it to them. We need to take it back. And I think step one is to stop worshiping them. Stop idolizing them. Stop assuming that because someone is rich, that means they're brilliant. No, there are a lot of dumb fucking rich people out there. I've said it a lot. There is nobody more resourceful than a broke single mother. They can move hell and earth to get their kids fed. You could take any one of those rich billionaire sons of bitches, Elon or Mark or fucking Bill or any of them, take all their money, take their cell phone, and drop them in the middle of a city with nobody to help them. Do you think they'd survive? No. Fuck no. Because they've been surviving off of others their entire life, off of you, off of me, off of all of us. They have no resourcefulness. They wake up in the morning with a fucking smoothie and an egg white omelet that some $250,000 a year nutritionist has made them. Like, they live in a totally different fucking world. And the rest of us are waiting for food stamps so we can go get some food to feed our fucking kids. They're not unrelated. These things are absolutely related. So I might do this again. Probably not. Maybe I've got a little bit off my chest for a while. We'll see, if anybody watches my spiel. Because like I said, it wasn't supposed to be more than an hour long, but I'm passionate about this shit. Because I feel like it's one of the biggest problems our world faces right now. Yeah, climate change is up there, and guess what? Guess who led us into that? The elites. The fucking oil barons. It's all connected. Your life sucks. Sure, there are reasons that sucks that are up to you. But shit would have been way easier if the deck wasn't stacked against us. And these rich sons of bitches, they're the ones holding the deck. They're the ones counting the cards. They're the ones making sure they win every fucking hand. Let's stop losing. We outnumber them 500 million to 1. Let's end this shit. Let's show them for a day what it's like to be one of the rest of us. Anyway, I love y'all. If you actually made it through all of this video, fucking golf clap for you, because I know I ran off on a damn tangent. But really glad you were here. I love you. And as always, I'll catch you later.